devil's doors of life. Things are changing and it ain't the way I like. On the replay, wish I could get a replay. Don't mean to hold ya, but I wanna do over. Gas up the ship, shoot me a text and let me know when it is time. I wanna get off, I wanna get off. One star, would not recommend that we go far from here. I wanna get off, I wanna get off. A music podcast for the culture, Wild Wild Thoughts.
Yo, welcome everybody to Wild Wild Thoughts podcast. Today we're gonna have a very fun, electrifying show. I'm sure of it. Let's get ready to rumble. So Drake shot his 2 shots last week. He pulled 2 out the chamber after Kendrick Lamar dropped the first verse.
He didn't shoot. He nuked. Let's use the correct terminology. He nuked.
And now Kendrick has come back with, to me, a masterclass in hip-hop dissing and a lyrical masterpiece. That's my opinion. Let's go to V-Ray. V-Ray, what are your thoughts?
Well, I would agree with Rob or with Mars that he went the nuclear option on it. And I mean, when you break it down and look at what he said lyrically, he tore Drake a new ass. I wouldn't even respond no more. I would just be like, you know what I'm saying, like J-Hove after Ether, just like, okay, you won. You know what I'm saying? Just let it go. But I'm still eating my popcorn, waiting to see what's next.
Yeah, Mars, what's your initial thoughts? Like, what was your first thoughts? Because, see, I had to listen to it like 30 times, just a repeat listen for sure. But what's your initial, like, what was your first reaction? Let me get that first. What was your first reaction?
When I first heard it, I was confused. I'm going to be very honest with you. So it's like, because I had, I've been Team Kendrick and whatnot. And one of my friends called me. He was like, he was like clowning it. It's like, that's your man's? That's what your man's coming with? And I was like, I haven't heard anything. So initially when I listened to it, I was a little confused because he came in a way in which I didn't expect him to come.
Uh-huh.
But as I was listening to it, I think what kind of hit me was in the middle of the song, where all the double entendre and some of the history in which I know that they've had between the two and how he creatively wove in and addressed everything. I was like, oh, this isn't meant for the massive. This is meant for an audience of one. And I was like, and so I went, the second time I listened to it, I was like, oh, he's emasculating this motherfucker. He's literally like Braveheart and cutting off his nuts and everything. The more and more in which I've listened to it, the deeper that this shit goes, just to the fact that, the play on you, the title is on the project. I didn't know that Drake was an executive producer for Euphoria, which is a show about, kids on drugs that are basically being pimped out by adults.
Yeah, sexualized, teenage sexualization. Yeah, that alone was deep. And so before we go further, Rex, let me get your very first impression, like just your first impression, not after your 50th listen, like me. What was your very first impression the first time you listened?
I would say eyebrow raising. Also confused, yeah, but mainly like I just feel like he was just coming with the utmost craziest shit that you can ever think of. Like I feel like he digged a little deep. He did his homework. I want to know what's next. I don't feel like Drake should stop. I say.
Well, he's not gonna stop. He was
he's not gonna stop.
Night. He said, y'all know what I'm about to do, so he's not gonna stop. What'd you say, V-Ray?
So he's not gonna win though. I guess if you're just doing it to just be in the limelight, that's one thing.
Well, so for me, my very first impression, I was a little thrown off. Like, and it's funny because I was like, I wonder, is this how Drake felt when he first listened though? Because the whole first listen, it's like you're off balance. first of all, he comes in with the Teddy Pendergrass, my latest inspiration,
Yeah.
and he's doing the smoothest diss record you've ever heard. Like,
Exactly. That's why I
I
say
was
he
like,
did his
is he about
homework.
to drop the first diss ballad, hip hop ballad? And then when he ends with the line, don't tell no lies on me, and I won't tell no truth about you. Then those horns come in. I'm like, okay. Then he goes off on that rant, and then it switches to another beat, and then not only when the beat switches and his flow switches, his vocal inflection switches, the way he's using his voice, his vocal dynamics. So like each song was like a different Kendrick, like each section, and and like Mars said, I was like the first listen. I'm like, damn, he dressed this dude down, like really dressed him down all the way. But it was so much I couldn't catch on the first. So the first listen, you just catch the surface level stuff, right? Like you catch the very like
The
simple,
catchy stuff.
yeah, the
Yeah.
catchy, simple, like those lines. And then as you go into repeat listens and you dive deeper and deeper to the double,
It got
triple,
work. It
quadruple
got
entendres that this dude got in
e-
this song. Like for
every,
example, I don't know if y'all know, it started from the moment he dropped it, not only with the title Euphoria, but there was a clip of him and Kobe where him and Kobe talking, and Kendrick said he feel like he's hip hop's Kobe. Well, he dropped the video on Twitter at 8:24 a.m. So it was like you talk about calculated from the jump, and then after that, when the record came out, man, and the record came out on all the DSPs that same day, and I'm like, oh my god. So before we get into like lyrical breakdown, because there's a lot to break down, do y'all have Kendrick up after this record? Do y'all have him up on Drake? Because some
I've
people
been
said they
had
got
him
Drake
up.
up 2-0. Y'all got
I've,
Kendrick up on this?
Of
I've
course.
been
What you
had him up.
mean?
I had
I've
I
been
had
had him on.
I had him up with Control. I had him up with the BET Cipher. I had him up with King Kuta. I had him up, and if you want to bring it into, I'm not even going to touch the stuff on Mr. Morale. If we're going to just jump up to here like that, like what Drake did a nice little
Yeah.
homage or whatnot. But
Like
it's
so
like
for me, I got Drake up 2-0. I mean not Drake. I got Kendrick up 2-0. Because
Say,
I don't feel like Push Ups was a good record, but it feels like, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, it feels like a good Drake record. Like it just feels like it don't feel like a great battle record.
It's
It
not a
feels like
diss.
a Drake record where he dissed Kendrick a little bit. To me, like it feel like a Drake record where he was like kind of putting Kendrick in it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't feel like that was a because like when you heard Hit 'Em Up, you was like, ooh, ooh. When you heard No Vaseline, you was like, oh Mary. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's certain records when you heard Ether, when you heard Takeover, there's a certain feeling that you get from those long-lasting hip-hop records that I feel like I got from Euphoria that I did not get from Dropping Gimme 50. Like, cause and I know a lot of Drake fans like, well, you couldn't dance to Kendrick Lamar beat. I was like, that's not what rap beef is about. But that shows you kind of where the mentality is of some of the listeners now too, and how far we've gotten from that kind of line of thinking when it comes to hip hop battles. Because I felt like Kendrick picked the perfect kind of joints to be battle rap beats. They're aggressive. They got horns. They got the ringside ding. They're like in your face. Dropping Give Me 50 kind of feel like back that ass up redux.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And then he came with that shot didn't do I don't think what he wanted to. Then he came with the second one with the AI record with him and Tupac and Snoop, and
mm-hmm.
it was a couple clever lines, but I'm being 100% honest. There was nothing in that record to me that was memorable. That's a quotable, and to me, that's what makes a great diss record is a quotable. Are there lines that people going to be quoting? Lines that people going to be using for their caption? Lines that other rappers going to start using? in their records. Are those lines in your record? And I feel like that Taylor Made didn't have that to me. I feel like Taylor Made didn't have that, and I feel like Kendrick adjusts everything in both those records in an amazing way and killed that record off. And I know even though J. Cole was trying to get out of smoke, Kendrick was like, I'm gonna just throw a little match on your ass too, real quick in this record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the Drake just don't have the weaponry. What he's doing is like making clever, like gimmicky kind of shit, and Kendrick is just too cerebral. Like you said, there's layers to the when it was released. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other shit to it besides just him flaming old boy. You know what I'm saying? Just lyrically, just having his ass, but also just the way he does his metaphors and similes and shit like that is just a whole different level than Drake to begin with. So they even fight with the same weapons. And you know, Drake got a team of ghostwriters and shit like that. And Kendrick may have too, but that
Nope.
sounds
I don't think so.
very consistent with the shit that he's always written when he's writing rhymes that ain't even battle raps. You can just tell the way his mind works, and
Yeah.
these rhymes sound like that kind of shit. So it's you know, I'm a Drake fan too. I'm a fan of Bite. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
I gotta
It's just
follow you now.
they
I gotta follow you now.
I'll say this. Kendrick, not Kendrick. Drake has had his first shit, like when he first came out, that shit was clean. Like that
yeah,
shit was
yeah.
the shit. But I ain't gonna lie. Now that he got a little money, I feel like he got a little cocky with it. So, you know, it kind of threw me off just a little bit. Like, he still got hits. Don't get me wrong. Like, he still got the hits, but it's not, I don't think he said anything to make me remember some lyrics like when he first started out. Like, since then, I probably say Hotline Bling is the only thing I really remember
Yeah.
that makes sense to me. Other than that, no.
Well,
Kendrick Lamar got all of that.
Make the records that make me wave my hand in there and shake my ass. You know, that's
Yeah, like,
the hotline blings and them type of joints. But when you start trying to wander over into who anybody can get it kind of shit, no, you're not that dude, bro.
well,
Well,
I think
sorry.
he has a little bit of false confidence because of the other battles that he went into and the way he went into, battling Meek Mills. And I think he might realize it, but Kendrick ain't Meek Mills, dog.
Yeah,
Well, the thing is, I think what Drake did is I agree with everything you're saying. He went in very overconfident, but he has now backed himself up in the corner because he was doing all this whole time thing when he dropped his quote unquote diss record. Where now, okay, since you started the time thing, your time clock has now started. Here is the other thing that he said is that why I say he's backed himself in the corner. This like that is still performing well. This song Euphoria that has just dropped is being streamed everywhere. It's being talked about everywhere.
And it hit number one today. It went number
Yeah,
and
one
I put
today.
it in my playlist, so I'm guilty.
right. So in order for him to quiet the noise, and I agree with what is, I was talking to a friend of mine, is that he's going to drop something this week. The problem that he is now facing is that quote unquote again he was pushing the whole like I'm ready, I'm battle tested, I have stuff ready to drop and whatnot. Kendrick wrote this song and it is in present day time. It is current. So unless he is dropping something Thursday that can match the energy, which it won't, he's gonna resort to dropping a clubby record and trying to match it in that way. He's gonna try and get people dancing. But the thing is like you've opened up this whole door of lyricists battling. I don't necessarily know if people are gonna want to quote unquote now start dancing in the club when it's like, well, we want to hear bars.
Well, and I think the other thing is too, like, because of the mumble rap era, a lot of times I don't think real true bars are appreciated the way they should be, right? Like I don't think, and again, like I said, I think this was probably one of the most intelligent diss records in the history of diss records.
Yeah,
So I think a lot of stuff really is just going over a lot of people's head. A lot of people
Mhm.
who's just like, oh, that shit trash. I'm like,
that's
either
why.
y'all just Drake fans and ain't being objective, or y'all really not catching how clever this record is. Like, for example, let's take just a little bit. For example, he said there's three ghosts left, and I see them on stage kissing. I see them kissing and hugging on stage. I love them to death. In 8 bars, I'll explain that phrase. So then, in exactly 8 bars, he said, "Yeah, Cole and Aubrey know I'm a selfish nigga. The crown is heavy. I pray they my real friends, cause if not, I'm
YNW
YNW Melly."
Melly.
And people who don't know, Melly killed his best friends.
Exactly.
He's currently in jail for killing his. It's shit like that that's layered where he literally said, "I'm explaining in 8 bars," and then he gave you the 8th bar. You know what I mean? Like he delivered on that promise. It's like a Dave Chappelle joke.
Right. But you want to know something? It's interesting you say that, Dane, because I think that is where the struggle is that you have people that are willing to actually do the research to get a firm understanding of what is being said, and you have people that like, I don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why that shake your ass in the club shit
Right.
might get a pass. You know what I'm saying?
Like Dan, like you said, like DJ Head said, we cook slowly over here, and then lately you hear people saying, "Well, Drake is fast food. Kendrick is actually homegrown, home cooked food."
Well,
Yeah,
Then,
he even alluded to that in his own, where he said,
mhm.
"You make music to pacify. I make music to electrify," and that's what I'm
Yo,
saying. Like he
yo,
addressed so much, and
yo,
I don't know if y'all remember the last time we was on this podcast and we was talking about this record,
yo,
and
yo,
we was talking about Drake with the AI, and I said I feel like he's wait, what happened?
yo. You know that line? He's actually calling him a pedophile, right?
Oh my goodness! Oh
Ain't no
my goodness!
way.
Pacify, pacify, pacify little kids.
Jesus!
Damn.
But yeah, so like even that line, right, where you like he has addressed first of all, he addressed everything Drake tried to throw at him with the Tupac and are you gonna come back
Everything.
to slavery? He addressed that with the Haley Joel Osment line talking about he was in a movie called AI, and then that same dude that was in AI was in a movie called Sixth Sense. So he's like, so he was in a movie called AI. My sixth sense is telling me to off him. Like I was like, Jesus, man. Like it's like I said, the layers. But even the the opening before he says 1 bar is Richard Pryor backwards saying everything they say
It's
about me is
it's,
the
it's
truth.
true.
But it not only is that line crazy because he's talking about him there, but it's also because that line is from the Wiz. So he's basically
Exactly.
saying like he's the Wiz. He's all
He's the
smoke and mirrors. He's not real.
he's not
Like
real.
like come on, man. Like it's too much, dog.
Like I
Like
said, Kendrick did his homework, man. Like I said, he did his homework.
but remember on this podcast I told y'all when he came with that AI record, I said, "Hey y'all, it looked like Drake is panicking." And he don't know where to go because he came with that record so fast. And I said Kendrick just sitting there, let him stew, and then that's what happened. In the top of the record, Kendrick addressed that just like I said. He said them superpowers get neutralized. I can only watch in silence. The famous actor we once knew was looking paranoid and spiraling, and that's what it looked like to me. Because he was like, "Come on, man, do a record," and he just like sitting there like, "Not yet." And then everybody, because some people like, "Well, Drake, Kendrick took too long to come back, so it don't even matter." Like, nah, we not gonna let y'all try to slide off with that.
yeah. But
No.
then too, Drake can crank the motherfuckers out when you got 14 other people writing with you and shit. You know, what he came with, this content, you see why it took the length of time that it did. Like Mars said, fucking Drake is fast food. He's Jake Paul and fucking Kendrick is Mike Tyson and shit. You know what I'm saying? This is
Yeah.
two
No,
different kinds of fights.
but the way he approached this, no one saw him coming like this.
No,
And we
Like
heard
you
y'all
can't,
yet.
you can't like you. And I think, and this is where I think realistically it makes it even more of a challenge because how do you even respond? Where do you respond?
That's what I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see because I think Drake. I hope Drake don't make the mistake Jay did when Jay got pissed after that first Nas record and when he came back with
Oh,
Super
super
Ugly,
ugly.
where he just went super personal and it wasn't dope though. It was just like a bunch of personal shots.
Yeah.
I hope that ain't where Drake is finna go after this, but I
That's
feel
where
like it is because it's
that's
almost
where
where
he's
else
gonna
will
go.
you go? Where
That's
else
where
you
he
gonna go?
that's where he's gonna go because the
Yeah.
thing about the one thing in which he was the only thing that he had on him was making fun of his height and shoe size.
And his wife, he uses his wife.
Yeah, his wife. Yeah.
And he's already like he doesn't have any insight, any information because Kendrick is like, you're getting all these theories from my last album.
Yeah, that's what I say. I don't know where he goes after this, but I feel like just from the things that Kendrick alluded to in the record, that he actually has a lot more ammunition, and he's like, "Don't do it." Like he's kind of like, "I'm trying to go light. Don't do it." Like this is a little tap to let you know not to do it. And I feel like he's praying Drake does it because he know
Oh,
Drake's ego won't let him not do it.
Drake is gonna do it
Yeah, Drake gonna
because
do that shit, bro.
because the fact of the matter that Kendrick also spoke on the Canada gang issue. Whoever is in his camp is pushing him to respond.
Yeah. Stephanie said Drake gonna come back with the famous line, "Your mama." Like, what else you got? Ain't got nothing else. But yeah, like I'm really interested to see what he comes back with, and I think this is really good for hip hop. I think it's good for the culture because you finally got two titans going at it. Um, and I will give Drake the credit. He ain't backing down from the fight because I feel like he ducked out after Pusha T came at him. I don't think he wanted that Pusha T smoke.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was the other thing.
I,
When you were alluding to Drake's song, push, drop and give me 50 or push it or whatnot. Every single time you say that, I'm hearing Pusha T.
yeah,
He
yeah.
said, "Fuck that
And again,
Pusha
like I
T,
said,
Pusha T."
if I pull up the lyrics to drop and give me 50, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if there's lines that stand out to be like, ooh, like that's like a classic. Because to me, I feel like in Euphoria, there's some classic, you know, classic metaphors, classic double entendres, and some classic stuff that people are going to be talking about from years to come. I don't
From
know if
top to
Drake has
bottom.
yeah, I don't know if Drake has given that yet, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Do y'all feel like
No, no, he haven't done shit.
I'm,
I'm
I'm,
still waiting.
I'm not convinced he got it, bro.
you're
I
not
think
convinced he got it?
I think he's in over his head, man. From a battle standpoint, you know what I mean. I'm not talking about his quality as an artist, like his track record or nothing
Right,
like
right, right. I'm talking about strictly
that.
this battle. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, I don't think. I think he shot his shot, unless he's like laying off ghostwriters and getting some other people, and you know what I'm saying, trying to come from a new angle with it. The I think he's come with what he's got. I mean, honestly, I think the AI record was pretty clever,
Mhm.
but it was just some bullshit. I mean, obviously the estate came after him and all that. Tupac estate came after him and all that. So yeah, that part was wrong. But you have to admit that, like him being Kendrick being a West Coast artist, and him coming doing a record like he's got a couple of features from the West Coast icons telling him he's trash and shit. That was kind of clever. But again, it's a gimmick record. Like Mars said, he might do a club record. That record was a gimmick record. He's doing all this bells and whistles and fucking juggling and got what I'm saying, tigers jumping through hoops and all that shit at the same time. But what's the rap content, like the lyrical content and stuff like that, is apples and oranges, man. I just don't think he has it.
V Ray, you said something that was very interesting, and it actually triggered something in my mind. Do you know that since the song has dropped, the only response that he has made on social media is that like a footage from the movie 10 Things I Hate About You, which is kind of responding to Kendrick's
Yeah.
response of I hate. And here's the disconnect in which he doesn't realize is that Kendrick is actually referencing the DMX interview where he was listing everything that he hates about Drake.
Yeah.
So he can't even understand the hip hop, like the hip hop significance of what he's saying back to one of our premier artists. And he's like,
Well,
oh
also, I
yeah,
feel like he even also feel like he even did what Kendrick said. You gonna run to the internet to try to get
mhm.
digital hugs, likes and digital hugs. Like I feel like you played right into his hands. You did exactly what he said you was gonna do.
Right. But how? But the thing, what's
Stephanie said in
interesting.
my hold on. Stephanie said, in my opinion, Drake is a great writer, but he's definitely not a battle writer. At least not when it comes to battling real underground aggressive artists.
True.
He got fooled by the whole Meek Mill situation. But then to answer your point, Dame, if you're used to utilizing social media and you're going to social media and social media is flooding everything about Kendrick's response and dissecting the songs and actually pointing it back to you and laughing at you and creating memes, what do you do?
Right, right, because that was a space where you had the power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think this just goes back to like, can you make a dope comeback record? Because I just while we were talking, I just went back and was reading the Drop and Give Me 50 lyrics, and it's nowhere near the level of clever of Euphoria. It's not even close, bro. Like it's not even close. And the AI
I feel
record, I'll
like
go read
I,
that.
I feel like it's not even still competing with like that.
Yeah.
That's the
I
thing. To me, Drake hasn't put out nothing yet that beat the like that verse.
Like, come on, bro. He said one verse and you still haven't done anything to address that.
like honestly, I think Drake's only recourse is to put out an ignorant gutter
Or
response.
he have to, or to me, he have to do like Kendrick did and really put some thought into it.
He's not gonna
But
put.
I don't know. But like D
He's
Ray
not
said,
gonna.
I don't know if he has the capacity,
No, he's
right?
not.
Even
He
his
doesn't.
ghostwriters, I don't know if his because Kendrick is like a different animal, right? Like I don't know if he has the capacity, even if it's well thought out, even if he takes his time, because I feel like he thought he killed it with dropping Give Me 50.
Yeah.
But I feel like one of the things that Kendrick did was by addressing everything he said and dropping Give Me 50 point by point, and then adding his own points now that Drake has to answer, I feel like Drake is in trouble. Because usually you'd be like, if you coming back with your record, you just answer their points. He answered their points and then did enough on the record to like, and now you got to answer for this. Now you got to talk about this, or now you got to run from this. You know what I mean? Like all those pieces and all those things. So I think it's gonna get interesting after this because, like I said, I don't know where it goes because this record was so calculated, and we know that Kendrick is very calculated, so he didn't give it all up in this record, which is
Mm-mm.
scary. Because this was 6 minutes, and I still feel like he still didn't give it all up. And I think one of y'all was saying that there's really a
20.
19-minute version of this.
It's a 20 minute song. I want to hear the other 14 minutes.
Yeah, so that's why
Wow.
like he might drop this in chapters. Like he might really be waiting. Like
That's
I feel like he's trying to set a trap. I feel like he's
That
trying to set a trap
wow.
for Drake to say something specific for him to jump on. Like he there's a you know what I mean? Because the way he was kind of hauntingly talking about you don't want to talk about this, you don't want to do that. You
Mm.
know, like the way he was saying
We
it,
don't want to hear you say nigga no more.
yeah, man. So Stephanie said she don't think he can handle. I think he can handle a battle with Chris Brown. I think Quavo just is way out of his league.
Hey
Nobody
man,
knew
nah,
Chris could rap that good.
nah.
I think
I
nobody
feel
thought Chris could
bad.
rap that good, and I think Quavo is good at what he does, but Quavo has never been known as like a lyricist or a battle rapper. That was like never his thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like if somebody was like battling MC Hammer and they're like, "Oh, Hammer about to come back with the metaphors," and you know what I mean? Like certain people that ain't their lane, that ain't their speed, and I feel like Quavo got caught where he wasn't supposed to be. He got caught in the wrong neighborhood.
I feel bad.
Man, I feel bad for Quavo.
Yeah, I feel bad.
And
Well,
I
yeah,
would.
because Quavo is the one out of the two that's actually supposed to be a rapper, and he had a couple funny lines, like the crackhead Michael Jackson, the cokehead Michael Jackson line was funny, but bringing your cousin back from the dead to try to fight your battle is like, that was kind of whack. You know what I
What
Yeah.
mean?
happened?
Like his cousin is on a record. Like
Oh, I
that's not just Quavo on the record.
Oh, I didn't listen to that bullshit.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. His cousin
What?
is on the record with him.
Once I heard that Chris Brown, the last line of that Chris Brown response, I was like, oh, that's it. I don't need to hear anything. Drake is probably on the phone with Chris right now. Hey, can you write me a response?
That would be a way he could respond is like do a group, like you know what I'm saying, a pass the mic. This, or let some other niggas with some guns, you know, say some shit.
Drake gonna come out with his Canadian Wu-Tang Clan. These are all my ghostwriters.
So let me ask y'all this: what do y'all think? Like, what's the end game for Kendrick in this, and what's the end game for Drake in this, in your opinion?
Drake drop a new record right on the tail end of this shit. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Okay, and what you think the end game for? I think the end game for Kendrick is he really trying to show people he's the king of
No,
rap. I think for him it's just I'm the best rapper, and I want y'all to know it.
All along, yeah.
Kendrick got two. I think I agree with you as far as showing Kendrick is an icon now. He's translated the king of rap. He's an icon. I think also Kendrick wanted to change the pulse of hip hop and take it back to what it was, which it is. Because since Like That has come out, you have not heard any mumble rap or anything coming out. Like folks have like let's hold off on releasing that because we want like the only thing which I've heard that has come out and YG bars. But everything has some type of substance or lyrical flow and whatnot. So I think his thing, two things: prove that he's the best, and at the same time
raise the bar.
pulse.
You think
Right.
K-Dot wanted to raise the bar?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so I agree with you, V-Ray. I think, like you said, great marketing for Drake either way. Drop a record at the end of this. Drop an album at the end of this. I think Kendrick should too, but I don't know if he will. But
No,
but
it is.
drop a record at the end of this, and then two, like you said, change the pulse of hip hop, which I think he has. Because when you have a battle going on like this too, I think anybody who's going in the booth right now, anybody who's in the studio right now, has to be looking at this and paying attention. You know what I mean? Like, has to be paying attention. So
yeah, half of them are starting to beef amongst themselves now. But then let me ask you this question, V-Ray. Realistically, should let's say this goes another round. Drake drops a song and flops. Kendrick drops the killer blow. How would you look at Drake after being emasculated?
Well, go back to them emasculating records that used to be like talk about girls he broke up with, and you know what I'm saying. There's a lane for Drake. It's just not the one he's trying to like he got his turn signal on trying to get over some shit that he ain't got no business. I don't think Drake is just blown out of the water where his career is over kind of shit.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I'm just saying I think he needs to just do some of that banging ass Drake music and shit and leave.
So are you saying what Kendrick said? You think he just needs to make some music to make me wave my hand?
Exactly. I mean, really, that's a strong suit. When I became a Drake fan, that's the shit that I was a fan of. Not that it's like the older shit, and that's why I think it had more content because it's older. But it really was when he was using the effect on his voice to sing a little bit of his hooks and or mix rapping and singing and shit like that, and had some cool beats and shit like that. That's where Drake lives. I bet you his fans will all follow him right back over there and shit. You know what I'm saying? But this shit where he's trying to like take on other rappers and shit like that, nigga. If you ain't doing a song with him, I mean, he didn't really want it from Rick Ross. You know what I mean? So why the fuck you gonna try to like fuck with Kendrick Lamar, bro?
He still has an address like that, so why would he address Rick Ross?
I'm just saying that if Rick Ross is roasting your ass and shit, what the fuck you think, is gonna happen when you try to approach Kendrick like that?
Yeah, Rick Ross is hilarious. That motherfucker, every chance he gets, does he have Wi-Fi on that cargo plane?
Yeah. And it's crazy too, because literally it was all everybody talked like when you talk about something moving the culture, this was all everybody was talking about yesterday was this Euphoria record, for good, bad, or indifferent. For people who, like somebody said, what was the text? Somebody sent me a text. They said they didn't. Let me read this. because I was like, this to show you where the state of where some people are. I'm not listening. Kendrick's very obviously a way better rapper. His entire discography could never compare to Drake's, but Drake is more entertaining, so he wins the sassy Olympics. Like that's how we measuring hip hop battles now. The sassiest nigga win.
Wow.
The
Yeah,
motherfuckers whose
man.
album has been on the billboards for the last 11 years with Good Kid, Mad City.
And then somebody was like, Drake had a better beat, which I disagree with. Like I said, when I'm talking in terms of battle rap, but again, like I said, it felt like a Drake record more than a battle rap record.
But the thing is, I think that's the thing. Like I've been having the arguments with some of my own friends that have shocked me on their takes. It's like rather than judge it on the lyrical content, it's all this outside noise. Oh, the beats. Oh, it was too slow. Like what? Like what? Like, are you not listening to what is being said?
No, that's the mentality today.
It's
And
and like
speaking of that, I wanted to comment about what you said about Barbie. You know that Kendrick may be looking to raise the bar. I think that may be where he's leaning, but I just wonder if that's gonna be effective because the attention span is so short-lived these days. You know what I mean? That shit may be in 30 days from now if they don't just keep it going, just on some dumb shit. That Euphoria is gonna fade to black, bro, and then the next bumble nigga gonna come along
you
and
you
gonna start clapping again.
you want to know why I argue that would not be the case? Is that Kendrick, like I said, is an icon, and he has attained a level now where his music is being studied in school. Like you got kids that are like white kids and suburban kids that are learning about hip hop through him. They're understanding it.
Yeah,
And so what it is that they're not necessarily paying attention to the moment back, but they're actually going back. Like I literally saw a video of some kids actually rapping Cypress Hill. And this is one of the things that's very scary to me, is that with what Kendrick is doing and the music and the artists that are coming out of the West Coast, like again, YG, what he dropped yesterday, today, Naka, oh my God. And I'm a fan of YG. But it's like every artist in which I'm looking, and I'm not in California. I'm on the outside looking now, and I'm looking at music from a different spectrum. But it just feels like the artists that are coming out from the West Coast are more in tune with the culture, more in tune with what hip hop is, and all the bubblegum shit that is everywhere else. It's like folks got to catch up. It's almost like you're looking now towards the West, where it's like, oh, that's where the real shit is. Like I've yet to hear of any artist coming out of New York, in which is like new artists that are coming out. That's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm matching that same energy. Like I don't know, I might be old and I just don't know, but some of the stuff in which I'm hearing, I'm like, that's not it. Like I miss, where's the pride? I see more
Yeah.
pride on the West Coast than I'm seeing anywhere else.
Let me read Stephanie's comment. She said, "Real talk. People who are listening as fans, who are not really musically or lyrically inclined, don't want to listen to anything that is going to really make them think. If it's not really obvious and have a track that's going to make them move, then they get lost real fast." And I agree. That's why I said, was some of Kendrick's uh was some of his diss too sophisticated?
yes,
So
I completely agree. Sorry to
you
cut
know,
you off. Yeah, absolutely. What I was going to say too was that like the average hip hop fan, I mean, to your point, Mars, or to counter your point, the average hip hop fan nowadays is fucking 30 years younger than most of us, or more. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So the shit that we like, yeah, Kendrick, that shit that he dropped, it was like, I got it, it's this, and he meant this, and like niggas finding like the 8/24 release time and all this stuff like that. A 14-year-old like, nigga, what? Like they're not even interested in that at all. So that's the thing that makes me wonder about steering hip hop in a different direction. Like to me, hip hop is like a big oil tanker. So if you're gonna turn the fucking trend, that's just gonna be a wide, long ass turn. It ain't gonna be like, oh, we own this shit now, because it's gonna have to be a bunch more euphorias back to back to
Right.
make you like really think that this is the next new thing. That niggas will comment on it, and there's niggas that you said, like we were talking about, that's commenting that what Kendrick said was garbage, or you know what I'm saying? It wasn't as good as Drake. If you think that Kendrick shit wasn't as good as Drake, you automatically what you're using to measure good hip hop, or deep hip hop or for the culture type hip hop is you're not even considering culture in your equation.
Well, yeah, because like you, V Ray, like I said, me and you are probably the minority in that we appreciate Drake's art for what it is, and we also fans of Kendrick because I love the Certified Lover Boy album. I love that record. There's a lot of records. I didn't like the 21 Savage
No.
album. The album him and 21. We talked about that. But so I'm not like a Drake hater. I'm not somebody who didn't like Drake before this in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not that. So I'm listening objectively, going back and forth between both records. Because like I said, when I heard Drop and Give Me 50, I probably listened to it like twice. Like because it was that obvious, right? That only took 2 listens where it was like, okay, cool. Like he said some slick shit, but talking about a nigga shoe size don't really do it for me. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't the flex he thought it was gonna be. But then like Euphoria, I've been listening like over and over, and there's so much discussion. There's literally Reddit threads already about this record,
Yeah.
breaking down every lyric and every double meaning. Like I know people thought he was talking about the AI when he said, I heard you got a ring and I'm down to wage it or whatever. And he said, because I don't want Tupac to roll over his grave for a Canadian nigga. But he wasn't talking about the AI record. He's talking about Drake bought one of Tupac's rings
These old
at,
rings, yeah.
at an auction.
Yeah.
He bought one. So so that's why I say where it's like it's deep, deep, deep. And back to Mars' earlier point where he said he really did this shit for an audience of one, because lines like that, like he's talking directly to Drake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was talking directly to Drake, and we just get to be witnesses. But I feel like Drake record was for us.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing that's funny. Not funny, but interesting. The whole Tupac ring situation, and I'm sure, after living out on the West Coast, I feel a certain way about it. Doing the research and actually seeing the footage and how he was acting, showing off that ring. Do you know exactly where I'm going with it, right?
Yeah.
What?
Do you see him coming to LA?
Not with that ring, but I think Drake will at some point come to LA, and I think like V Ray said, this ain't like no career ending type shit, but I do think it can be career defining in some ways in regards to how people feel about Drake going forth and how other MCs feel about going at Drake going forth. You know what I mean? Because there probably was a lot of people who was like, he's at the top of the hill. I'm not going. But if people see one little bite of weakness from what Kendrick is doing, then it might open the floodgates. You know what I mean? I mean, it kind of did open the floodgates because like a bunch of people came after him, and like I like how Kendrick even addressed talking about the splits and everybody that Drake was signed to, and how he addressed like, nigga, it ain't 20 verse 1, it's 1 verse 20, because I'll smack every nigga that right for you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mars.
Speaking of that split on the
the
album credit, it is just a distribution between Kendrick Lamar and Interscope.
Damn.
There is no mention of Top Dog. There's no mention of
because everybody knew
That's crazy.
Everybody knew Mr. Morale was his last album on Top Dog. That was the big thing, that he wasn't signing back.
So now when he's talking about splits, let me see your splits, and I'll show you my splits.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like that's why I say he's talking to an audience of one. So there's probably a lot of stuff, like, and especially us, we all in or around the industry. So there's a lot of industry jargon that we caught, that we know about, that we got, that the layman might not get, might not understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why I said it maybe some things were a little too sophisticated, and that's why some people like, I actually was just trash. Because like I could say you don't like the record, but to say it's trash, then I gotta question your ability to
music, period,
to judge hip hop, to
like your
hip hop
musically
records that you
ear.
say, like I like, nah, there's a difference between saying, well, I just didn't like it, it didn't do it for me. It's different between that and saying something is trash.
Yeah.
Let me see. I think it would be dope to hear Kendrick and Eminem go against Drake and his writer.
You know
First of
what?
all, I don't think y'all leave that white boy alone.
Yeah, leave
Y'all
him
leave
out
that
of
white
it.
boy where he at.
Yeah, leave him out of it, please.
Y'all leave that white boy at home. Leave him in Detroit.
Please.
Don't wake up that giant.
Please.
I don't
That's
think
a
Drake wants.
different that's a big fish.
So
That's a big
because
fish.
that's the one. That's probably the one fish that's bigger than Drake, right?
Boy.
And that's the one that could be like
Hey,
if he to
that
me
is
that could be something that could be career ending.
that is Dre's goddamn minion to the rap game. Come on, bro. No.
Yeah,
No.
but I don't think M would actually partake in anything with Drake for the simple fact that Drake did do him a solid for his daughter. And he did come out and say that he's grateful for whatever it is that he did for his daughter.
So Drake saved himself basically
Like I, but
from
the thing
ever having
about
that smoke.
yeah,
Man.
but I don't think M would even. I don't think he would go with Drake like that because he enjoys, pushing the needles on stuff on other
And
type of
also he might
rappers.
just feel like I'm a little too old for that. I'm out of that. Like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm not in that. And
Especially
I don't think Eminem needs to get involved. I think Kendrick can handle it.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I think Kendrick is gonna handle it by himself.
Man, the one thing I will say, God, because Kanye's gonna do this. Kanye's gonna make a remix. I'm curious to what
Kanye needs
remix.
to stay his ass
No,
out of
no,
it too.
no. Let
man,
me say. Let me
Kanye,
say.
man.
I'm curious to what remix he will make. Is as long as he doesn't try to like, hey,
Because he
the
tried to jump
vultures.
in. He tried to jump in. That little boy, sit your ass down somewhere. That record ain't do what you thought it was gonna do. You redid the little beat and tried. No, Kanye, go sit your ass down. Man.
He's like the super friends are here.
Yeah, like
I'm gonna
it's
be
like
dope somehow.
do you ever been getting jumped and the nigga can't fight is the only one trying to come? Man,
Man.
you the one I don't want coming out here. Like
Yeah,
the
man. What
only
are you
one running out
doing?
the house is the nigga who can't fight. That's what it was with Kanye
Stop
came in.
shooting that little
Like
ass shit.
yeah, like I'm here too. It's like you're not the one I needed, dog.
Oh man.
But
I wasn't suggesting it because I thought Kendrick couldn't handle it. I just meant for sound pleasure to hear the two of them team up together. Yeah, it would sound incredible. It would sound awesome. But like I said, I feel like that's not fair.
no,
Drake and Eminem on Kendrick, that's getting jumped.
Yeah,
no,
that's getting
no.
annihilated.
That's
I
getting
will.
jumped on.
So
That's getting
be,
dope fiend right
no,
there.
those two will probably try like go back and forth trying to outdo each other. Like,
Right.
oh, wait, oh, that's your first. Oh, no, I need to do. Oh, that's your first. No, no, no. They'll be in there. That would be nasty though.
Yeah, that would be nasty. Just sonically. Yeah, sonically that would be crazy. But yeah, man, like I said, I think this was dope. It was great for the culture. Any final thoughts on the record or any final thoughts on what y'all think is coming up next? And also academics, get off the payroll. Stop trying to act like everything that Kendrick do is trash. It's making you look bad, dog. It's making you look real bad.
You dick riding too much on Drake, bro. Just
You're
stay in your
glazing,
own
son.
lane.
You're
You
glazing.
gotta open your ears up, dog. I don't
You're
know what the
glazing a
fuck you
little
doing,
too much. Yeah.
bro. What?
Yeah.
That motherfucker's stupid. Like I've never seen. It's almost like you seeing an accident, and it's like, oh, I didn't see nothing. Your man got punched. Oh no, he didn't. You took his chain. Nah, you didn't take his chain. You
Yeah, that's
broke
what I
it.
said. Like, if you're supposed to be a hip hop journalist and you just like, everything, because he tried to like listen to the record and do a reaction. He's like, he rapping on Teddy Pendergrass. That's trash. I'm like, but it's not.
It's clever, nigga. You
Yeah,
just
he's
don't
like,
have an ear. It's
listen
okay.
to these lines he's saying. These lines he's saying ain't even dope. I'm like, he's destroying this nigga, man. Like, what are you? You
That
sound like
is
you're
a
on the
prime
payroll.
example of young ears, and that's around my age group. So that just make niggas look like me look stupid. Like you don't have an ear for music. It's just stupid. And then you trying to comment on it like you don't have an ear for music, bro. So it's just stupid. Nah,
Yeah,
man.
man. Yeah, man. So yeah, final thoughts while we go. Oh, before we get to the final thoughts, Wild Bunch single release party this Sunday at Senator Jones, 2020 Wilshire Boulevard. come on, hang with us, man. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna party a little bit from 4 to 8, so you got enough time to turn up and get home and get your shit together so you can go to work the next day. You know what I mean? So Wild Bunch single release party for our song "Walk It Back" that we dropped. We're gonna be out there from 4 to 8, Santa Monica, 2020 Wilshire Boulevard on Cinco de Mayo. Come hang with us,
Hey,
man. Yeah, come hang with us. All right, now
come hang out.
let's get to the final thoughts. Rex, give me your final thoughts. Where's this headed? Where is this train headed?
Kendrick route. So I don't know why. Yeah, I don't feel like Drake should say anything. But we gonna see another Drake record, so it's just gonna keep going. I want to hear the rest of motherfucking Kendrick shit since it's like 19 minutes or whatever, however long it is. I want to hear the rest of that shit. But yeah, nah, it's not looking. It ain't looking good for Drake. He need life support and some more shit.
Ooh, ooh,
He
ooh, he
don't
on
know
life
about
support.
that.
Damn.
He don't even
Dang, I
know
don't know
about
about
that.
that. V-Ray, give me your final thoughts.
Well, I'm looking forward to that new Drake album that's a throwback to his old career and music style and shit. I think he should quit trying to like trap a lion with a mousetrap and just go go to your strong suit and flourish. You know what I mean? But I honestly think the beef shit should be over, and I'm hoping that I'm right.
You hoping somebody is there talking to Drake like,
Well, I mean, it's like a punch drunk fighter, dude. You know, you just want to go out for 4 more. I'm good. I'm not fucked up.
Man,
but like, dog, your shit is bloodied up right now. You need to sit down.
throw in the towel. But so that's what I'm hoping that he'll at least do that and just end the shit on a note where they both got a little notoriety out of it and shit, and you can capitalize on that. If you keep going and you get your whole shit destroyed, you know what I'm saying, more than it's destroyed now, then it's like when you try to come back, your credibility is like fucked up. Like everybody be like, no, I remember that time that Kendrick Lamar said that da 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 da, and it's like you won't be able to live that shit down if you can live down what's happened so far.
Yeah. Mars, what's your final thoughts, man?
Man, fugu prices jumped up. What the fuck?
because of that FUBU line?
Yes. What the fuck? My final thought.
The stocks?
Huh?
You watching the stock market, man?
Nah, I was just curious, and I'm like seeing like $100. What the fuck? $50 for a T-shirt? What the fuck?
Yeah.
$80 for the football jersey, and the shit looks like ass. But what is my final thoughts? I am just happy that K-Dot responded. I just hope that those naysayers that don't want to listen with the amount of information and the flooding and whatnot, they take the time to just listen to it and understand like the brilliance that is actually being crafted.
But yeah, my final thoughts is I hope people can just appreciate what they're hearing right now. I hope people can appreciate the moment. And I hope people will open their minds a little bit because Drake got like stands like Beyonce and Taylor Swift, right? I hope the Drake stands can take the time to really listen to this record, appreciate it, and sit back and enjoy what this battle is supposed to be instead of just taking a side. So I
it's
feel like
hip hop.
that's what a lot of people,
It's what we've
are
been
doing.
waiting for. It's hip hop. Everybody's saying hip hop died. Well, hip hop is back. There you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, shit, man. Thank y'all for joining. Oh, wait, before we go, wait. Because of what we're talking about tonight, before we go, can y'all give me y'all top 5 hip hop diss records of all time? Y'all personal top 5.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh,
Oh man.
I used to love her. Common, No Vaseline, Hit 'Em Up, Ether, Who Shot You?
Okay, that's a good list. Who you got, Lil Red?
I'm gonna have to say No Vaseline. Hit 'em up. Damn. I'm gonna have to go. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with the back to back.
That was a dope record. Like, I'm not
That
mad
was
at
a
that
dope
pick.
record
That
because
was a dope record.
he actually rapped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, um, I don't think I have any other two because no other two really stuck out to me.
Okay.
Hmm. I'm trying to think, man. But number one for sure for me is Ether. Then I got No Vaseline, Who Shot You. But I don't know where I go from there. Hit 'em up.
Yeah.
I was out for. I know that gets me revoked on some levels, but I wasn't really impressed with Hit 'em Up personally. But I don't know. Rather than say that, those are my three that I will say, and that's all I got on the spur of the moment.
You know what? I get where you're coming from when you talk about hit 'em up, but and this is what I tell people or to remind them of. The reason I think hit 'em up makes so many people list is because at the time, I remember at the time it came out, the way it made people feel, and how direct and disrespectful it was. Because remember, at that point, niggas wasn't that direct and disrespectful with this record.
Facts, yeah.
So because it's not like the record is a lyrical juggernaut, and to me the record falls off significantly when the Outlaws start rapping. You know what I mean? Like that record has a lot of flaws, but I think just the very first opening line, first off, bitch, and the click, you was like, whoa, like you like
West Side when we
we in
ride,
for a ride, yeah. So the beginning of the record and in the end when Tupac is just going the hell off, talking about my fofo, make sure all your kids won't grow, like. I think those two things are what make it stick out in people's heads. But for me, I'm gonna say my top 5 disc records are number 1 for me still is No Vaseline. I feel like nobody still has made a better disc record than No Vaseline.
Because he dissed all them motherfuckers.
He dissed the whole crew was top of the game at the time. Like how you take down the biggest group in hip hop at the time by yourself?
And Jerry, man,
yeah, and his manager. Like that's the first one I feel like took out a whole crew and a manager. So my number 1 is No Vaseline, and the rest aren't really in the order, but I really love the Takeover record by Jay-Z. Even though it wasn't the record that won the battle, I love that record because it was such a great diss record, but also a record with a lot of repeat playability. Like people just listen to the Takeover as a joint, as a jam. Because like a lot of diss records, you only listen to them for the diss, and then that's it. But some records stand the test of time, and it's just a good record. My next diss record, that's one of my favorites, Dog Pound, What Would You Do?
Oh, I forgot about that one. Ooh.
Because it's such a good record, people forget that's a diss record where he's going out with BG Knockout and all the people they had beef with in New York. Like, so What Would You Do? And I'm finna take y'all way back, man. But I think because this was a great battle back in the day, because you had 2 lyricists who was like heavyweights. But How You Like Me Now? Kool D, man.
Yo.
My man went back to Kool D.
Niggas forgot about How You Like Me Now. No,
How You Like Me Now?
LL with the I'm Bad and Mama Said Knock You Out.
LL's 4-3-2-1 verse when he went off on Cannabis. That was.
Them my 5.
Yeah, Cannabis, yo.
Yeah, them my 5.
I just remember one that I would have named is Corrupt calling out names.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I even like NWA's 100 Miles and Running.
You said you didn't?
No, I did.
Oh yeah, 100 Miles and Running was a dope. See, this is the thing.
And game.
As cold as 100 Miles and Running was, No Vaseline basically erased that shit from the history because that's the record he came back to 100 Miles and Running with No Vaseline. And 100 Miles and Running, when you first heard it, you was like, oh damn, they got Cube. Until you heard No Vaseline. Even NWA was like, oh, he got us.
Yeah, he got us.
Everybody come out, y'all. He got us.
Yeah, damn.
And I have to add now, I got to add Euphoria.
Yeah, got to add Euphoria now. Yeah,
Euphoria got to be added to my top 10. To my personal top 10 of
my top,
great hip-hop diss records, I got to add Euphoria to my top 10.
And we forgot about Games diss with 50 Cent.
Oh, 50 Cent's How to Rob.
Oh, see, I didn't like Games record was good, but again, like for me, when I talk about diss records, I feel like it's stuff that stand the test of time. To me, this is my criteria. I know everybody had a different criteria, but my stand the test of time. It's a memorable record. It got a bunch of quotables because Game record was so long. It was like 300 bars or something.
Yeah, 300 bars.
But there's no lines I remember from that record. You know what I mean? Like
the only bar I can really remember is Olivia's a Man. Like he took out everything.
But that's what I'm saying. Like there's no real like you know,
Yeah, real
when you go to all the
punchlines. I
other
feel you.
records,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
No Vaseline, when you
You
talk
can
about
remember that whole
surgical,
thing. Yeah,
like
yeah.
No Vaseline, to me, why No Vaseline is always the number one record. Great beat selection for a diss record, because that shit jams. But from the opening line,
Here's what they think about you.
yeah, from the opening to the very end, I feel like he didn't leave no meat on the bone. I'm talking about every line was surgical. There was no throwaways. Because a lot of rap beef records, they have throwaways. I don't think that No Vaseline had any throwaways. I think that's for you, Lil Red.
What up, cousin? What's up with it? What's going on?
But yeah, I don't think No Vaseline had any throwaways. And I think Euphoria has that too. If you go back and
Yes.
go through every line in Euphoria, I don't think it actually has throwaways. Because like even like I said, Hit 'em Up, there was lines where it's like you could tell they just wanted to rhyme with the line before that. So it was like it was a throwaway, right? No
Yeah.
Vaseline, I don't feel like there was no throwaways. I feel like Euphoria, there's no throwaways. Like every line means something.
Went
Went
somewhere and it
get
means
somewhere.
something.
Yeah. So that's my criteria. But yeah, y'all all picked some great records. I'm looking forward to where the rest of this goes. We shall see. Thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for joining us. Again, May 5th, Senator Jones Wild Bunch single release party. Please come out and support. We're
Y'all
gonna have
bring
a
your
good
ass
time.
out there and have some fun and
Yeah,
listen
man,
to
we're
our
gonna have
shit,
some
man.
fun.
Come
We're gonna have
on,
some
man.
fun.
Have some fun.
Support your LA dudes.
Yeah.
Before Saturday, or make their own videos for Walking Back.
Yes, please. We're still waiting for people to make their videos and send us, make us y'all walk it back video so we can post it. We only got a couple videos left before we run out. So, we need y'all to shoot them joints and send them to us. Stephanie, we thank you for always watching, man. Thank you for always supporting. Trust me, we really appreciate it and don't take it for granted. We don't take any of you guys for granted that watch, talk, comment, support the podcast. I know we just starting, but it feels good where we are so far. The engagement and the reaction feels pretty good. So let everybody know where we at on Wednesdays, y'all, so we can, keep these discussions going. Like we said, this is Wild Wild. My bad. This is Wild Wild Thoughts, and this is for the culture. All right, we will see y'all next time, and everybody else, I want to see y'all on Sunday. And anybody who just so happened to be going to the Dodger game Saturday, we are playing at Dodger Stadium. We playing the pregame and the postgame at Dodger Stadium. So come by, say hi, or if you want to get tickets and come hang with us, get tickets, come hang with us at the Dodger game on Saturday. We'll be playing from like 4:30 to 6, like 4:30 up until Star Spangled Banner goes up before the game, and then we're gonna play immediately after post game when everybody's leaving. So come check us out at Dodger Stadium. We got some good things coming up for the Wild Bunch. Like I said, so stick with us, pay attention. We'll be here. Euphoria, Kendrick winning, up 2-0, out.
Stop the world, let me off. I don't like this destination. I like a transfer to the express line. I gotta get off. Electric slide into the devil doors of life. Things are changing and it ain't the way I like. On the replay, wish I could get a replay. Don't mean to hold ya, but I wanna do over. Gas up the ship, shoot me a text and let me know when it is time. I wanna get off, I wanna get off. 1 star, would not recommend it.